Hey everyone, what's up? Some big news happening today in the world of Android. I just wanted to kind of share with you guys and give my thoughts on it. Google announced two huge things today. One, that the Nexus S, or the successor to the Nexus 1, is going to be released on December 16th. And two, that the Nexus S is going to be running the next iteration of Android, which is Android 2.3 Gingerbread. So let's just get into the Nexus S. Spec-wise, people were kind of in an uproar or a little bit disappointed because it's not really too much different than current Galaxy S phones. Inside, you're seeing the same Cortex-A8 processor or Hummingbird processor that's in all the Galaxy S phones out right now. There was a little bit of a rumor or speculation that they might be releasing a dual-core phone, but there's different, I guess people are saying different things on why maybe that didn't happen. One of those things being that Gingerbread wasn't really optimized for a dual-core phone. It didn't really take advantage of both of the cores and stuff. So rather than having an OS that didn't take advantage of it, they said, you know what, we're just going to keep the same old, same old. Yeah, very smart, Samsung. Why they couldn't at least upgrade maybe to like a Cortex A9 or something, I have no clue. For RAM, we have the same 512 megabytes, which is pretty much standard. I would have liked to have seen maybe at least a gigabyte of RAM. Maybe that's something that might have kind of set it apart from some of the current generation phones, but didn't see that either. It actually has some internal memory that's kind of crazy. It has 16 gigabytes of internal memory, kind of like the Vibrant on T-Mobile, but the only difference being that this phone has no expandable memory. Now this is absolutely crazy because this has never been seen on an Android phone. For them to do something like this is just so crazy. This is like what we expect from like Apple or something. I mean, it's bad enough Samsung kind of try to copy the looks of like the iPhone or the old iPhone, but to copy some of like the craptacular stuff that they do with that phone, like no removable memory, that's just ridiculous. On the back, you have the same 5 megapixel camera as current ones with LED flash. The only difference is this camera doesn't record in 720p. What? Crazy, I know. The coolest thing about the Galaxy S phones is the fact that their 720p HD recording was like top notch, pretty much only matched by the iPhone. And the fact that they're only using 720 by 480, which is just kind of like widescreen standard definition, is just so beyond me. It's ridiculous. It's horrible. It's absolutely insane. I don't even know how they can do a step back like that. It's just totally weird. They have a front-facing camera, kind of like the Samsung Epic, so pretty much standard there. The screen is using the same Super AMOLED 480 by 800 resolution screen as current generation Galaxy S phones as well. The only difference being that this one has like a slope. The phone itself looks kind of like a skateboard. The screen kind of is concaved. And it actually has this anti-fingerprint screen, which is really cool. I don't know if you remember the iPhone 3GS. It had an anti-fingerprint screen. It used some sort of weird resin display thing or something. And the HTC Hero over in the UK had the same screen as well. I thought those were going to be all the rage and all the new phones or the high-end phones would have them, but those were like the only phones we saw that had them. It just kind of went up the way of the dinosaur. Very strange. The motion sensor on it is a 3-axis gyroscope thing. I think the current phones have like a 2-axis ones, with the iPhone having a 3-axis. So it has a noise cancellation microphone or noise cancelling microphone like the Nexus 1. The Wi-Fi's on it are, it has wireless N, which should improve like, I don't know, Wi-Fi distance and download speeds and all that fun stuff. You know, this is kind of a rumor going on the webernets. My friend was telling me about it on Twitter. His name's Tito. But they're saying it might not have a removable battery. The battery is just going to be stuck in there again like the iPhone. Now, this is kind of definitely a make or break for me because every new phone I get, I always order like 2 extra batteries with like an external charger, and I think this is absolutely insane that they would do this because I can't live off a single battery charge. I like to be juiced up all the time, and I keep my screen on full brightness. I turn my sounds up way loud, and you know, I don't like to be held back by something like the battery life on a phone. So this is definitely not a good thing. Now the phone comes to you completely unlocked. It supports both AT&T and T-Mobile 3G bands, which is kind of nice. And this is a huge deal breaker for a lot of people, but it doesn't support 4G, T-Mobile's 4G network. So I don't know what Samsung was thinking in doing this. It just sounds like such a step back, like a lot of things with the phone. But I don't know. This is something that consumers are kind of putting on their like list of demands that they should have in a next generation phone, and for them just to not include it is just completely beyond me. It's horrible, horrible, horrible. The phone also will most likely still use that weird Samsung file system thing where they're using RFS, which is really slow, and this is a problem with current generation Galaxy S phones being like really laggy after like a week or two of people using it, which means you're probably going to have to hack the phone the first day that you get it and do the one-click lag fix on it. So overall, I would say the phone isn't much better than, say, like the Samsung Epic. In some ways, it's actually a lot worse. This has 4G, that one doesn't. I don't know. I don't really know what Samsung was really thinking when they made it, or what how come Google didn't lay the smack down, but overall, just a little bit underwhelmed with the phone in general. I'm gonna kill you. Get the hell out of here! Get out of here! Get out! All of you, get out! Don't come over here. Stupid animals. You're all animals. You hear me? You're all stupid animals.
You're never gonna get this.
Give me back my sock. Close the damn door. Close it! Close it! Which leads me now to Gingerbread, aka Android 2.3. Now, when Google talked about Gingerbread a while back, they said it was going to be a complete UI overhaul that was going to completely obliterate or do away with custom UIs that all these handset makers are using, like HTC with their Sense UI, or Motorola with their Moto Blur, or Samsung with their TouchWiz. They said it was going to be so beautiful that your head would just... That's how beautiful. Now, whether or not the UI is as beautiful as that, I'll leave that for you to decide, but I didn't really care for it too much. Some of the only changes were just that the notification bar is now black and the icons on top are kind of like this weird Ninja Turtle bright, weird green, like intense Secret of the Ooze green, like crazy. The menus are now sharp, and I guess they're going for like the minimalistic look, but they're just kind of sharp. Everything looks very 2D-ish and flat. Kind of mimicking a lot from, I'd say, like the Metro UI on the Windows Phone 7 and stuff. It reminded me a lot of that. The theme seems to be like black, green, and orange, which to me doesn't really go too well together. I think it's kind of really ugly, but... Gingerbread does introduce a new keyboard. The old one kind of needed a bit of a, I don't know, revamp or makeover. Google recently bought BlindType. Now, they are a company that makes this really awesome app, or they were making this really awesome keyboard app for the iPhone and Android phones. Essentially what it does is it allows you to blindly type, and it just magically knows what you're trying to type. It's really cool. It goes by, like, I don't know, how close the keys are to certain letters, and it figures out the word. It's really, really awesome. But I was hoping we would see this on Gingerbread, especially when they showed off the new keyboard, but definitely not the case at all. This keyboard just has multi-touch, and it just looks a little bit different. They kind of spruced up the looks. And the phone does support the new copy-paste. It has these little sliders that you can use to copy and paste now. It just makes it a lot easier. You don't need to use a trackball or a trackpad anymore or anything. We actually had that feature in TouchWiz Android 2.2.1 that's on that just came to the Epic, so I was really pleased. It's one of my new favorite features from TouchWiz. Gingerbread also supports native Wi-Fi calling, or voice over IP. If you've ever got a chance to play with the G2 or see some of the reviews, you know that they have an app inside of G2 that allows you to make Wi-Fi calls using just your wireless internet that's in your house. That's really cool, especially if you have bad reception in your house, which I always have. Besides the fact that it makes your battery life like triple or quadruple. I think it's really cool that Gingerbread actually has this native now, and I think it's going to be super, super useful. They also did some tweaking with like the system stuff. They said games and some of the other applications are going to run a lot smoother and be more responsive to the touch and stuff, so we'll have to wait and see. They said they also did a couple battery tweaks, making it more aggressive with like background running apps and stuff. Not really too sure what that means, but I think battery life might increase because the new UI has a lot more blacks in it and stuff, and a black pixel doesn't use up as much energy or battery life as, or battery power as like a white pixel when you're trying to light it up. So what does an Android 2.3 Gingerbread mean to you? If you have a current Droid phone or like say an HTC phone or Samsung phone, it probably doesn't really mean too much to you, seeing how Samsung, HTC, Motorola, they have their own skins or UIs on top of Android. You're not going to even notice the new Android UI changes. And carrier-wise, they don't seem to favor voice over IP calling. I'm not really quite sure why. So if someone out there knows, you could just let me know. But for some reason, they're never really crazy about making calls through your Wi-Fi. I would think they would like it because of reduced strain on their network, but they don't like it at all. So I felt like Google had a lot to prove with the next Nexus phone or Google Experience phone, and I don't know, I feel like they kind of dropped the ball with it. The first one had really great hardware because it was made by HTC. The only problem with that being that it only sold like 100,000 units, which was considered kind of a flop, seeing how like the HTC Evo sold 500,000 units on its first weekend. And a lot of people were kind of expecting big things with Gingerbread. It was supposed to be like this whole new UI and stuff, and in turn just kind of looks really weird and bleh. They said they were going to bring together the UI, but there's still like weird white widgets. Like the Google search widget is white, which doesn't match the power control widget, which doesn't match the notification bar. Everything is just kind of still... Google really needs to do something about their UI. It's kind of weird, but I'm actually more excited about hearing about the new version of TouchWiz or the new version of Sense or something, because those usually have all these new UI tweaks and enhancements that I actually get excited about now. It's sad. But I really want to hear your guys' thoughts on the Nexus S and Gingerbread. Be sure to leave a comment down below and tell me what you guys think about it. If you were kind of underwhelmed, if it was meh, if you think it's awesome, or if you're just not even excited about it at all and you're just going to keep whatever phone you have now. So I'm Chris Chavez. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.